Welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Community of Charlotte. I'm Eve Stevens. My pronouns are she, hers, and I am one of the ministers of this congregation. I am lucky enough to work with a group of people who love what they do for a living. Over the past year and a half, as we've had to adapt pretty much everything we do as a staff and as a congregation, I've watched each of my colleagues dig deep and continue to weave their creativity, commitment, and love for this congregation into everything we do together. And I realize that the passion my colleagues bring to their work comes from the fact that the work we share in each day is a vital part of what roots them, what grounds them, what makes their hearts sing. All summer, as part of our series, Roots Hold Me Close, we've been inviting our members to reflect on just that. What commitments root you, ground you, bring you joy? Each service has been revitalizing, nourishing to the soul, hearing so many of you share from the heart. Today, it's our turn. 3 of our staff members will share their personal reflections about what roots them, and the rest of us will make appearances in other ways throughout the service. We so miss seeing this community of people in all your color and splendor in person on a Sunday morning. We hope it's not long until we are together again in some form in our sanctuary. This service comes from our hearts to yours. Thank you for making everything we do possible. Thank you for sustaining a community that is a privilege to serve. Welcome, members. Welcome, guests. If you're watching this service on August 29th, I invite you to head over to our public Facebook page to greet one another in real time in the comments of today's welcome post.
I'm Jay Leach, one of our community's ministers, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Virtually all religious traditions, perhaps all religious traditions, appeal in some way to the metaphor of light. So too for Unitarian Universalism, our liberating religion. The kindled chalice roots us, grounds us. The ritual of lighting this chalice is part of what makes us who we are. Though distanced still on this day, may the light of our chalice draw us together, forming us yet again into a community, into our community, into the Unitarian Universalist community of Charlotte.
I am Kelly Green, membership coordinator for this congregation. My pronouns are she, her. It is strange to think about what roots me right now. Untethered is how I think of it when I don't feel rooted, when I am unsure of my value or direction, or where I am, or what I am doing. As with some of you, I have a few reasons to feel untethered right now, but I don't. I feel pretty rooted. There are lots of things that root me. I am rooted by my ancestors. For me, this is not just about blood connections. It's about who made the life I have possible and how I let their stories guide me. Nothing I do is possible just because of my own efforts. So how I think of it, my grandmother, Martha Claiborne, is my ancestor, and so is civil rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer. Martha was adored for helping people feel seen and heard and cared for. I can do some of that. Ms. Hamer used her gifts to push for voting rights, among other things, for Black folks. And I can contribute to that continued effort. I am also rooted by the idea of being a future ancestor. I don't have children, but I am a future ancestor to all of your children. I am rooted by feeling accountable to them and to my ancestors. I am mistaken, I think, if I think anything is just about me. My life doesn't need to be extraordinary, but it's important that I try to do some good with it. Our Unitarian Universalist principles also help keep me rooted. They remind me of how I should be in this world. For instance, our first principle calls for us to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and there aren't any qualifiers for that. I still need to do it with people I find challenging and people who behave differently than I think they should. I also regularly consider my credo. To what do I give my heart? That I have written and rewritten with this congregation. If these values are important to me, which they are, I need to live them. And of course, this loving community roots me too. Yes, I do work here. I am also a longtime member of this congregation. Even in these COVID times, we have cared for and lifted up each other. We keep having courageous conversations. We've celebrated together, grieved together, fought for justice together, learned together, enjoyed life together. We are our beautiful, messy selves together. This community is a big part of what is helping me feel rooted these days. So those are all my deeper roots. I also have a lot of what seem like more shallow roots too. Those can be whatever beauty, joy, and connection I can experience in the moment. Whatever is reminding me that the divine is in me and in you and in all of us. I don't know which experience will be what roots me tomorrow or next week, but I expect some combination of things will. And I kind of enjoy being surprised by what it will be. Here are some of the experiences that have helped me feel rooted in recent days. Getting to co-create a poem to be sent to incarcerated Black freedom fighters. Music, having music come into me and move through me and get me moving. A conversation with a friend who is about to engage in a beautiful struggle. The deep breath pushed through my body as I do my version of running. And the gorgeous blooms of my favorite flower. For me, staying rooted is requiring some intention, some work. I have some moments. And then I think about my ancestors and what they might want for me. I think about being a future ancestor and how what I do or don't do will impact others. I think about our UU principles and my credo and this beloved community and the higher self my faith calls me to be. I open myself to whatever beauty, joy, and connection are right in front of me if I pay attention. For me, staying rooted takes all of that. And I'm grateful to get to have all of that available to me. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Herrick, and my pronouns are he, him, his. What an amazing summer this has been. We've heard from many of you as you've shared your life stories and what's important to you. These windows into your lives have inspired me to look a little deeper and consider the various and common threads running through the stages of my life. What stood out to me upon this self-reflection and what keeps me grounded and connected to what I consider the essence of my life is kindness. Kindness as in treating others the best we can without design or hope of reciprocity. Kindness as in stepping beyond the accepted norms of typical social interaction to let people know they have value. Kindness as in really listening to what others have to say. Kindness as in taking time to be fully present to others. And yes, that kindness as in how do I respond when someone cuts into my traffic lane. Full confession, I'm in no way saying that I'm an expert on kindness or that I don't give ample opportunities for others to practice it. Rather, kindness is an ideal that I constantly aspire to and is what gives me hope for a better life for myself and for others. And it's this notion of a kinder and gentler world that grounds me when all else fails. I've had a lot of wonderful teachers in the art of kindness. My mother is one of the kindest people I know. And there have been numerous people along my journey who have shown me great kindness, including members of this community. It's so easy to get caught up in deadlines and ego and wanting to do a great job. But such a mindset often precludes recognizing the moment before me or the raw beauty of human interaction. I've been saved from myself more often than I can tell you. What I know is this: When life feels hard and insurmountable, kindness offers a softening and a path forward. I used to be impressed by those who made headline news or were materially successful. Such measures of success make sense in a celebrity and consumer-driven culture such as ours. But as I age, I realize personal fame is fleeting, and things in and of themselves don't make me happy. What impresses me most about people in my life is their ability to put others first, to create goodwill and good feelings, and to make others feel valued and loved. I've witnessed kindness in family interactions and through friends taking time to listen. I've witnessed kindness seeing people go out of their way to help someone they don't know or offer a kind word. I've witnessed kindness in the workplace when colleagues remind me that there's more to life than work. I've witnessed kindness in this community as we care for one another and as we take time to be fully present. In a day and age when my thoughts wend towards polarization and alarm, I need to remember that we're all on different paths, and unless I've walked in another's shoes, I'll never fully understand their experience or why they do what they do. But I can let my fellow human beings know they have value. I can offer a kind word or a warm greeting. I can give them the benefit of the doubt and listen to what they have to say. I can offer a helping hand when needed and accept the helping hand offered to me. Kindness may not change minds, but it can change hearts, including my own.
Good morning. My name is Belinda Perry, and I'm the Office Administrator at the UUCC. My pronouns are she, her. My mom passed away in March of this year after a rough couple of years of declining health. And as she went through this, she needed more and more help from me. Part of that help was giving her rides to Chapel Hill for cancer treatment. Honestly, I don't like driving on the highway, and I didn't want to do it, but it was really the only option. And it turns out that it only takes about 20 minutes longer to go on the back roads. And because we went on the back roads, I now know the history of Chicken Bridge Road. We made the 2-ish hour drive about a half a dozen times between November 2019 and January 2020. Because riding in the car for so long was hard on my mom, we made the trip in 2 days and stayed overnight together in Chapel Hill. We talked during the car rides about our lives at that moment, her worries and frustrations around her cancer. We reminisced about when my brothers and I were small and about when it was just the two of us when I was a teenager. We reconnected over things we had in common. She and I were so alike and were often on the same page for all of my life. And during one of the rides up, we were both hungry and also both craving Italian food. So we asked the attendant at the front desk at our hotel where we could get good Italian food nearby. The place he recommended became our favorite place to eat in Chapel Hill, and we ate there every time we were there. One time my mom was particularly chatty on the ride home, but she suddenly stopped and said, "I don't know why I'm talking so much. Nobody wants to hear my life story." And I said, "I want to hear your life story." And she paused for a moment. Then she said, "I was born in Chicago on a winter day." And then she proceeded to tell me about her life when she was small, and about her parents and her brothers and sister. She cleared up some misconceptions I had about a couple things. It turns out that my grandparents didn't trade a car for a plot of land in Worthington, Ohio to build a house, that happened in Kansas a long time before my mom even came along. She told me stories I knew, but when she said, "Have I told you this?" I always said, "Yes, but tell me again anyway." She talked about missing her parents and brothers who were already gone, and her sister who was so far away. I soaked it up. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. You were promised a reflection about what roots me, and this is what's on my mind. She's gone. And it's tempting to say that I don't feel rooted right now. But the truth is I am, because of her. Both of my parents gave me roots, made me who I am. And this story is about my mom. The one about my dad starts with the first verse of Calico Pie and isn't finished yet. This is about how my mom taught me to love and to laugh. And to be strong enough to help when someone needs me. And because she taught me those things, I was firmly rooted enough to hold the ground around her as she readied herself to go. Thank you.
If you are visiting with us for the first time today, welcome. And I am so glad you chose this service to come check us out, because hopefully you got to know our staff a little bit better. This community has so much to offer. If you want to learn more about us, you can reach out to our membership coordinator, Kelly Green. Her email is Kelly, Kelly, @uuccharlotte.org. Meanwhile, I encourage you to head to our website where you can subscribe to our weekly e-newsletter Currents for the latest happenings. In community, we are sending love to all the family and friends of those who died at the Kabul airport in Afghanistan this week. And we continue to hold in prayer all those affected by the unfolding violence there. Here in our congregation, we are celebrating with Jan and Patrick McNeely upon the birth of their granddaughter. And we hold with love Annie Flint in this time of her niece's hospitalization. We hold in our prayers John and Mary Lee as John recovers from a recent health crisis. We're sending love to Don Nias and Paul Cuny as Don faces ongoing health challenges. And we were deeply saddened to learn last weekend of the sudden death of one of our former members, Ed Stokes. Ed was an intelligent and kind man with a great talent for music. He and his wife, Rosanna, were members here for years. We are holding Rosanna and their children, Ian and Anna, and their families, and Ed's many friends with love as we grieve this untimely loss. Whatever joy, sorrow, celebration, remembrance you carry with you this morning, may you feel held by the love of this community.
Oh, my friends, on days like this, how deeply we need some time to pause, to deepen our breathing, to engage in a time of meditation. This is that time in this service. And so I invite you to settle into where you are. And for this time of meditation, to close your eyes. Heavy. So very heavy. Our hearts are heavy, weighed down, sorrowful, anxious, disturbed, angry, in pain. We watch as the setting of our nation's longest ever war unravels, erupts, breaks into so many violent pieces. And we're angry about a long-standing and ongoing vacuum of national leadership. We're sad for the countless lives lost from so many nations. We're anxious for those whose service is now shrouded in confusion and shame. And we're disturbed at the fate of those and of what we leave behind. We notice hard-won public health gains against the pernicious virus shift and slip and drag us back into frightful numbers and scenarios, and we're angry and sad and confused and oh so anxious, fearful especially for the most vulnerable and for those we love. We see storms and fires ravaging our nation, other nations. We see the heartless toll exacted by floods, the destruction wrought by rising tides. We recognize with sadness and anger that those already oppressed pay the highest price of all for the ways those with the most have devastated our planet's health. We wonder what part we played, what part we play, how we might make any difference now. We observe relentless rancor, the utter inability to engage in rational discourse and dialogue for the common good. And we worry for what this portends, even as it sends shockwaves of enmity through our own families and friendships. Heavy. So very heavy. Our hearts are heavy, are weighed down, sorrowful, anxious, disturbed, angry, in pain. Today, with no easy answers or obvious solutions to proffer, we tell the truth about our lives in the feeble hope that at least in this honest reckoning, there may be some shared recognition that would enable us to feel more deeply our connection to one another and to all others. We are grateful for a community in which we are not just challenged to tell the truth, but also to share in a compassionate entwining of our lives that would offer the common support of wounded healers. Aware that all are in some way struggling, may we find it within us to set aside strident insensitivity, save high personal demands for some other time, and simply lean with vulnerable openness on one another. Of us, of each of us, may it be said that when times were at their toughest, we cared, we loved on the hard days, the days like this one. Amen.
Hello, my name is Alicia Hutto, Director of Administration here at the Unitarian Universalist Community of Charlotte. My pronouns are she and her. We would like to thank each and every one of you for continuing to send in your pledges each month. And for those of you who send in contributions that would have otherwise went into our collection baskets on Sunday, we would like to say thank you. We rely on your continued support to do what we love and to continue to create the opportunities for us to live out our values. During these uncertain times, your generosity goes a long way. We would like to say thank you.
As our time together draws to a close, I offer you these words by Pamela Rumenkick. Why community? To remember that we need both roots and wings. To remember that strength comes from relationship and mutuality. To remember that we know life in and through one another. Be well and reach out when you need us.